What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Thank you for stopping in. Today I have for you an exciting unboxing to dig into. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I'd love to have you here. And before you head out, do me a huge favor. Hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it, everyone. Really helps push the videos out there so more people have a chance to check them out. And feel free to let me know what you are carrying in your pockets today down in the comments. Love hearing from you guys. So I think I know where this is coming from. Huge shout out to whoever sent this in, and I think I know. Let's just double check here. Yes, okay, so huge shout out to CJRB for sending this in for us to take a look at. I am so stoked. So we have their new packaging. We have a 2-stage box. Love this packaging over the old stuff. If you remember, they used to come in an old beat up box almost every single time. So this is definitely an upgrade. And this may be my favorite model from CJRB. Nice little microfiber cloth, little pouch for the knife. So what we are looking at, guys, is the all wood handled version. And this is going to be the CJRB Prado. And we have checked out a Prado before, but a completely different style. That was a G10 version. This is an all wood handled one with a satin finish. Very, very nice looking stuff. I just recently, within the last year, started coming around on wood handles. It wasn't something I really ever wanted to get into. For some reason or another, wood handles were just not my thing. And then I decided to give them a shot. And I started to, it took a couple different knives, different wood handles or inlays or secondary wood handle materials. But I started to really come around on the wood handles. Now, there are going to be things that come along with wood handles. Now, this has a steel insert inside, an inset insert in these wood handles. And there's a ton of triangular milling in there for weight relief. Recently, CJRB put out the Bowie Pyrite with a wood secondary handle, and it is fantastic. I have not had any issues, and I think they get better and better and better as time goes on. Now, this one's going to be sporting a satin finish. It looks really, really good. It's going to be coming in RPM 9, Ray Laconico design. And, you know, there was that whole ordeal with RPM 9 kind of being misrepresented, right? Which I think for the most part, at least I know I did, and, you know, several other people kind of were curious about the RPM 9. You know, I followed suit, though, with it, but I always had kind of a question mark by the steel. And finding out that it's not powdered, was that a huge deal? Maybe a little bit. Maybe it was, but it was more a kind of missed out or missed associated to CJRB about the process, because it's a powder foam process. So a little bit different process at which it's done. But with that all being said, the steel still fits well in its price point. You know, they have it at like 40 to 60, maybe going up to 70. After 60, you know, that's where I would start to draw a little pause with, you know, going up past that, unless you really like the design. But I have to say, this is going to carry very well in the pocket and has very good retention on the pocket clip. Sorry, we had a little visit from my son, but I think RPM 9 is a fine steel. And I was going to say that I've been buying RPM 9 steel, CJRB knives, since the RPM 9 was introduced. I have some of the earliest models of RPM 9 that they did, knives in. And I have to say that it's a decent steel. It really is. No matter the process at which it's done, it's a good steel. I have not had any issues with corrosion. I have not had any issues with the steel being fragile, chippy, or any otherwise. Does it have the best edge retention in the world? No, but I think that was a given either way, right? We knew it was an equivalent to kind of like 9CR. So we knew that it would be decent on the edge retention front, but, nothing spectacular. And I think it does well. I think it does very well at the price point. And we could get into the debate, what steel at what price. Would you rather have 10CR? Would you rather have VG10, 14C? I mean, we can have that discussion, right? Not on this video, but that is a discussion that could be had. And it's all going to boil down at the very end of it to user preference, what you prefer, what you are intending to do with the knife, right? Do you need something that's a little bit more or a lot more corrosion resistance because you're getting into, a lot of water or going to be around a lot of water, that type of thing, or it might be getting wet more often, right? Or do you need something that's going to be a little bit tougher? So we can have that discussion, but I think based on an all-around performance, I think RPM 9 is, an adequate steel. I start drawing the line, though, once it gets past, that $65 to $70 range, because then we're bumping up into kind of another, you can start getting 154 and some other steels. 14C, of course, is going to fall 40 to 60 all day long. 10CR is in there. You can get VG10. That goes all the way up, of course. N690 is around this price point. 154 is just up above this. So there's a lot of steels in this given range that perform all fairly similarly, but some perform better in other areas than some. So, like I said, it's going to be user preference, but in my personal experience, I have not, had a bad experience with the RPM 9. Nothing I didn't already know from the get-go, pretty much. So we're getting down to the nitty-gritty with my phone book paper. We went through another 2 phone books. So we're getting down to the last couple pages here. I didn't go in order, but I think there's like 3 pages left. So we'll be moving back to notebook paper here soon, which is okay till I can snag some more phone books. This paper pisses me off anyway, so I need a little break. But this stuff, if the knife can cut this shitty-ass paper, it's got a pretty damn good edge on it, and that definitely has a good edge. And I think Ray Laconico and CJRB have a fantastic relationship, or at least that's the way it feels, dealing with their knives, because they always do a phenomenal job with his designs. The Echo and the Prado here at least stand out to me as my two. The Echo and this are my 2 favorite models of late, and the Bowie Pyrite comes in right behind there. I really, really like that low clip point, Bowie Pyrite. So I do really like that one as well. But I would say the Prado is probably, I'm trying to rack my brain, but I think this is probably my favorite CJRB ever. The Prado, I think. It's a beautiful, beautiful size. I absolutely love the size. Tons of room on that handle to move around. And, it does have a little bit higher tip than the pivot, but it's still relatively low. you're going to be able to get up on that tip and do precise work without being too, unorthodox with your wrist. You'll still be able to get up there and use that tip. Got a little bit of belly, and then it's got a nice little straight edge here for cutting, longer cutting tasks. Nice thin handle. It's going to be comfortable. A little bit of jimping here before that little scoop up. Nice sharpening choil. Very, very solid crossbar lock. Probably some of the best or better crossbar locks in the production world. There are some companies ahead, but CJRB is, they put out a very, very solid crossbar lock, and I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. They do it in such a way that it don't feel spongy or springy to open it up. For a crossbar lock, it's got a solid deployment and then a very nice close as well. Good tabs to pull down on and easy to get to, easy to disengage. Got nice closing action. The next question is going to be, does this one hold up in a lock test? And I have no reason to think that it won't, but let's give it a shot here and we'll see. I guess we didn't check centering, but she is nicely centered. And then this is a crossbar lock, so detent lash really don't account for nothing, but this is where we check the springs in there, and that's a good sign. The resistance there, that's going to tell you that it has good resistance when you're going to flick it open. That's what you want to see is this. You want to see it being drawn back into the handle. There is no pivot lash in there. There is no up and down. And I can get it to flex side to side if I really wrench on it, but nothing that would be a cause for concern. So let's see what we are dealing with here. It's solid. I can already feel it. She's solid. We'll give it one more for good measure, but doing hundreds of these at this point, I can get a pretty good feel, and this one is really, really solid. So just another job well done from CJRB, and we could talk about that, the snafu with RPM 9. I think that was really just a miscommunication between, whichever parties were involved. I think that's just a miscommunication. Was it taken past? Was it discovered before and it kept going? I don't know. No, I don't know if anyone knows that. And ultimately, it's not like they was trying, it's not like they were trying to do something so shady. Like, it's not, I don't think it's anything to get immensely worked up over. Kind of a downer that it's not powdered, but not really the end of the world because it's a $50, $60 knife. It's really not a big deal, at least to me. You'll have to let me know what you think about the Prado. Let me know what you think about the RPM 9. And I think CJRB and Artisan handled it very well. Directly after the video or whenever they found out about all of that, they came out with a, several paragraph statement, so I have no issues with the way CJRB handled it and has been going about it. I don't know if we'll see a change with the name. I'm assuming it'll probably stay the same, just to make it easy for everyone. Maybe not, though. I don't know. I know one thing is for sure. I would love to see them also dabble in some other steels. They go from RPM 9 to S90V a lot of times. I'd love to see, the Prado here in S30V for, with some deep, with better handle options. for 80, 90, 100 bucks or something like that, you know. I'd love to see that type of stuff from them. I think that would be, you know, use RPM 9 as your affordable budget line, 50 bucks or whatever, but then offer something, you know, around 80, 90, 100 bucks, whatever. And or maybe a little bit more, titanium and 14C for 110 or whatever. But I'd like to see more. You know, that would be fantastic because they got a solid and concrete foundation with these knives. So just adding more to them, I think, would be, you know, a good idea. I love the premium idea as well, taking knives that do really good and making a S90V titanium variant out of it as well. I love that. But give something in between, you know, that $50 and $200 price point there, you know, maybe like a $120, you know, offer titanium and something else for the steel. You guys will have to let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. I always appreciate that, everyone. If you're new here, we release videos just like this one every single day. Hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell. I would love to have you here. Otherwise, guys, I will throw up a couple of new videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thanks again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.